Ladies and gentlemen, it's Dustin Nulf with the Keller Williams Realties, the Dustin Nulf team, and the Full House LLC, Pittsburgh Property Management. How are we all doing today? Welcome back. It is part 2 of Follow This Flip, and we are going to look at a more thorough breakdown of the numbers. So if you watched the last session or part 1 of Follow This Flip, we were doing a spitball of the numbers, and I was told I was off on my calculation. I'm not sure if that was the case or not, because I actually came out with the same numbers here. Running it on the spreadsheet are actually very similar numbers. So we are going to look at the spreadsheet calculation today. And we are also going to look at some progress. I'll let you know what sort of progress we've made and what we're looking at right now. It has been a couple weeks since the last video, so we haven't had as much progress as expected, and I'll explain why. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. As always, if you enjoy the channel, please give us a thumbs up below and hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell, and stay in touch. We do videos on real estate sales, real estate investing, wealth building, and general business advice. So that's it. Let's get started. Okay, so here we go. We're going to jump right into the numbers. And there they are. As I had probably mentioned, our target price is $150,000. So where we're at right now, when I bought this place, the closest comparable property that sold on the same street sold like a month prior to me buying this property, and it sold for something like $143,500. It was a decent little property, about the same size, renovated, looked pretty decent. So what I'm projecting here is $150,000 ARV, because our market has been extremely strong in that area and people are fighting for homes. It's a less than a 2-week absorption rate, which means that there's only 2 weeks worth of inventory on the market right now. So that is a super hot market, and that is why we are looking for a little bit above that 143 number. My contractor says that he's going to deck this place out and that we should be able to get 160 or 165. That would be great if we can do that. I may push 160 here, depending on how well he does finishing and finishing work on the property. 160 or 165 would be me setting the market in that area. That would be a very high sale price for that street. However, it is doable, I think, and there are comparables within a half-mile radius to prove the value for an appraisal. So we may end up trying to push a little bit more out of this property. If we sell for 150, as you can see from these numbers, I would be okay with that. However, if we sell for 165, that would be fantastic. I told our contractor, I said, hey, if we get 165, I will split some of that extra profit with you. I would be happy to do that and look at our relationship as a partnership, basically. You know, if the way I feel it is, if I'm going to continue working with him further down the line, he's going to not only respect me, but put more priority on my business if I'm able to reward him more than he's getting from any other investor out there who's using his services. Not only that, but I believe in win-win. So if I'm winning because he's doing an exceptional job, then I'm going to make sure he wins a little bit more than he thought he was going to win. So here's our numbers. Let's take a look. Purchase cost, $23,202. So that's what it ended up coming out to, would be my purchase plus costs of the purchase. So closing costs included. I paid off like the old taxes and that sort of stuff in the property as well. Our renovation budget was higher than I wanted. I was originally going for 65 grand. We ended up coming in at 70 for our contractor bid, and then I've also added additional work for him that he was not planning on, and I said, hey, you know, if we can take it up to 75, that would be fine. So we are making some changes, and I'll tell you what those changes are here in a little bit when we start talking about the progress of the property. The water line repair, if you watched the last video, you'll know that we were just getting ready to pour concrete on the exterior for the driveway, and I found out that the water line was broken. We couldn't get the water turned on, which they obviously will need water in the property to get all the plumbing working, to make sure the toilet's working and things like that. And so we ended up putting a halt to the concrete pouring and had to get that water line repaired. So that's a $7,000 cost that I was not expecting. So that's one of our surprises. I hope that's our only surprise, but we'll find out here as we get closer to the end. The landscaping budget, so I did put in a budget for $2,000 to do landscaping once all the interior and exterior work's done. I want to make sure that the curb appeal is nice. I want it landscaped. It would be, one of the few properties on that street that has nice landscaping. So we're going to aim to really make it pop with the landscaping budget. Projected closing costs. So in the city of Pittsburgh, I do 10% of the projected ARV. So we're expecting to sell it for $150,000. So 10% of that is $15,000. And what we're looking at as far as cost goes, we're looking at 6% for commissions, which is what we typically would pay in Pittsburgh for property this value. And then we're looking at a total of about 4% for transfer tax and other closing costs. The city of Pittsburgh unfortunately gouges us with transfer tax. They feel that they should get paid as much as a real estate agent gets paid. And then we have the holding cost here. So what I did with this was I just kind of figured out what my interest payments would be for 6 months, and then roughly what my utility bills are going to add up to, all mixed into that. So that's just kind of a number I punched in based on an estimate. And then that leaves us with, so if we take this, we add up all these expenses, these negatives, we're going to be left with $20,672.76 before I pay any sort of capital gains or taxes, income taxes on it. And then the one thing I did want to remind you is we've already got these things factored into the sale. So the benefits of being a real estate agent is I paid myself this already as part of these purchase and closing costs. So I already collected $2,500 of this. It did go to my business entity for my real estate sales. So I am going to have to pay taxes out of that and whatnot. I'm not necessarily going to net $2,500, but it is proceeds that I was able to make a little bit of money off of. And then when we sell this, I expect to make a $4,500 commission on the sale. That's if we sell it on our side and we sell it to a buyer who's working with another agent. If we end up bringing the buyer within my team, then I'll net a little bit more out of that commission also. So when it's all added up, it's still $27,672. Not too bad considering that my investment is really going to be, maybe $5,000-$10,000 out of pocket. So if you invest $10,000 out of pocket and you walk around with walk out with almost 30 grand, that is a pretty good day. So that's 6 months, you've tripled your money. So that's not too bad. What we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at the project and the progress we've made on the project since the last video. And while I talk here, I'm going to try to show you some more videos and pictures of the progress so you can get an idea of what it looked like, what it looks like now compared to what it looked like in the previous video. And I'll probably do some before and after photos too for you to check out. So as I said, we had started laying the concrete. We do have a concrete pad in the back now, and we have replaced the whole strip. So this driveway used to be 2 concrete lines running up the driveway, which is kind of the old school way that they did it to save money. It's got a patch of grass running up the middle, so you run your tires right up the concrete. And the concrete was really messed up at the bottom of the driveway. And that was one thing that I wanted to make sure that it was at least replaced from the front corner of the house down to the street. And my contractor said he's just going to replace the whole thing. So he ran, essentially it looks like a sidewalk running up the side of the house, and then there's going to be a pad. Well, there is a pad in the back now where you can kind of bring a car straight up in and then back it and turn around and do kind of a 3-point turn to get out, which is, I think, going to be an added benefit because it is a busy street. So for the owner or the buyer to be able to pull their car up and then turn around and come out head first, as opposed to trying to back out on a busy roadway, I think that's going to be a huge benefit to the sale. As I said, as we started to get down towards the end, we ended up figuring out that the water line was busted and had to be replaced. So we didn't want to pour concrete and then have to dig it up. So we stopped pouring the concrete and we waited until the water line was replaced. And you're going to be seeing photos probably now of the water line replacement and the trench that they dug in order to put the new water line in. So we got a brand new water line, which is fantastic. The gas line was already recently updated before I purchased it. So the buyer should be very happy to receive a new water line and a new gas line, which is, definitely a benefit for a property that's over 100 years old, as most of them are in Pittsburgh. And as we go inside the house, you're going to see that we have not totally gutted it, but we've pretty much gutted to the studs where need be, and then left walls remaining that were in good condition or that need repaired or patched. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see it in these photos as we do the walkthrough, but the kitchen area, what we've decided to do is we're going to knock down the wall between the kitchen and the living room area, and that was actually a suggestion from my hard money lender when he came by to take a look at it to give me a draw. He said, I really think if you open this up and put an island in here with this wall torn down, it's really going to add value and allow you to really compete better than most of the other listings on the market. And I totally agreed with it, and I'm glad that he mentioned it because for some reason I didn't think about it, and I should have. So we are going to tear down that wall. We're going to have a bigger island in the middle of the dining room area, kind of like a bar seating area. And the kitchen's going to be all up against that back wall of the house. We haven't really changed any ideas or floor plans or anything like that for anything else. If you are seeing photos of the upstairs of the property, my contractor just wanted to totally gut the bathroom. So he's going to be changing the layout of the bathroom. He wanted to gut it because the plumbing was pretty bad up there. And what we're looking at doing is putting the tub and shower against the back wall where there would be, a window, a fogged window, kind of in the middle of that. And then he's doing some really nice, it's kind of like marble looking tile. It'll be pretty much encapsulating the majority of the bathroom, including the floor. And then the toilet will be in the back corner. The sink will be kind of when you come through the door to the right, I believe. And that's kind of it as far as the layout. So I guess we did alter the way that bathroom is laid out. The bedrooms will be remaining in the same form that they are already in. The contractor is going to raise the electrical outlets a little bit and actually put them in the walls where they should be. They were in the baseboard, which was common in old houses back then. And we're going to lay down carpet on the second floor and a runner going down the stairs. The first floor will be all luxury vinyl tile. We use life-proof flooring. It's like $320 a square foot, I think. It's pretty expensive for flooring, but it is like the most durable stuff that I have been able to find, and it's very high quality, very easy to install for the most part. So we really like that stuff. We're going to do some life-proof. We're going to have granite countertops in the kitchen. I think it's shaker style cabinets, recessed canned lighting in the kitchen. So it's going to look pretty nice, I think, when we're done. We're not replacing any windows. Most of the windows are good. We're just going to, detail clean them, make sure everything's functioning properly. I will, and I think I forgot to add this on the spreadsheet. So we'll take another look back at the spreadsheet real quick, because I do want to add central AC to this property, and that's going to probably reduce our income or profit by another $2,500. So we'll take a look at that real quick. But again, like, I think I'm going to end up trying to push the market and ask for at least 160 or 165,000 for this property. I think it's going to be one of the best properties available, maybe even, well, we'll not say ever in that location, but it'll probably be one of the better properties to have sold in that location in a long time. So we might push the market in order to recoup some of these additional costs that are kind of popping out of nowhere at the moment. So that's it for now. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up here and subscribe and hit the notification bell. If there's anything that you'd like to ask question-wise, go ahead and post it in the comments below, or anything else that you'd like to see, please post it in the comments below. This is going to be the first of hopefully many videos of flips and renovations like this. So as you probably know, I do buy and renovate properties for rental use usually, and I don't typically do a lot of flips. This is actually my first real flip, I would call it. Typically I'm buying them, renovating them, and then renting them out. And we will be revisiting, I think I showed you one of my Burr method properties in a previous video. We will be revisiting that because I'm about to do the cash out refinance on that property. Hopefully next week we'll close on that. So we're going to go back and actually look at the numbers and look at how that one turned out as compared to what I was projecting in the previous video on that property. It actually is looking pretty good right now. I'll probably end up doing better on it than I thought I was going to. So that's it. Thanks for joining me. See you again.